You're worried about getting your Amazon KDP account terminated? Here is how to avoid it. So Amazon KDP is an incredible platform for self-publishers in order to help them generate a steady amount of income. However, many authors find themselves facing account suspensions, terminations because of simple common mistakes. Most of these mistakes are quite innocent, and these terminations can be a major setback because once your account is terminated, you lose access to your earnings, unfortunately. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore some essential tips, strategies on how to avoid Amazon KDP account termination, and also help to make your KDP account thriving and safe and protected. Now, this issue has been discussed in many previous videos that you can find them on YouTube by other self-publishers, but this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try to put my 2 cents. I'm going to try to talk about some strategies that I personally adopt myself in order to, as much as I can, avoid or protect the KDP account. So tip number 1 is common sense: avoid using copyright content. Now, this could sound very simple, but it is quite complex, so bear with me. So one of the most common mistakes that can lead to KDP account termination is using copyrighted content without permission, whether it is text, images, or other forms of intellectual property. KDP is extremely strict about ensuring that all content is original or properly licensed. Many new publishers make the mistake of pulling text, pulling images directly from the web, directly from other websites as well, using them in their books without making any modifications. So if you're writing a book about a certain topic, you can't just pull images out of these websites, for example, without proper understanding of whether this image is allowed for commercial use or not. Another thing is, for example, we've got Creative Fabrica, which is a wonderful platform for content, but usually if you use it the wrong way, if you use it just by re-uploading the interior of the cover just as is without making any modifications, this could lead you to getting your account KDP terminated because of copyrighted content, because the same interior is published many times by many new KDP publishers. So the way to avoid this is download the interior as is, upload as a PDF to Canva, and make simple edits, whether it's editing the font, whether it's changing the layout, whether it's adding a "this book belongs to" page, or adding a how to use page or an introduction page, anything to add extra value and also avoid your KDP account getting terminated. So when Amazon's content review scans your book, they may identify the text or the images or the style as being used without permission, potentially resulting in your KDP account getting terminated or suspended. So what to do here? Always edit, always modify any external images and text that you want to use, or better yet, just use royalty-free images from reputable sources or create your own. Especially now with the whole AI thing, you can easily create your own images, you can easily create your own book covers, and if you use AI to any sort of extent, whether it's simple or complex, just make sure you say to Amazon KDP in the publishing process, just make sure you select that you've used AI, and then you have a box where you can write what exactly did you use AI for, say for example to generate the cover images for the cover and so forth, and just source the type of AI you used, whether it's ideogram, whether it's Midjourney, whether it is Canva AI, whatever it is. Just make sure you disclose that. Tip number 2, really important, it's often overlooked, so please be cautious with trademarked keywords. So another frequent case of account issues and account terminations is the use of trademarked keywords in both the title, subtitle, and even the 7 keyword slots. So we've got keywords like, for example, ones like Disney, Marvel, any other characters in the main films, for example, even keywords like for dummies. This may seem generic, this may seem widely known, but they're often legally protected trademarks. You've got to really be careful because these can cause account issues for KDP publishers. Even though the book is, for example, that's using copyright terms, you see it selling well for many months and even years. Amazon will eventually get to it, flag it, and the author will have to take the book down to avoid further consequences. Or if they're very unlucky, they may get their whole KDP account terminated because of that one innocent mistake of using a trademarked keyword. So though some trademarks may appear inactive or abandoned, companies can still renew these trademarks, so please be careful. If you see a keyword and you look it up, and it is marked as inactive or expired, for example, just make sure to avoid it if it is marked as though it is inactive or abandoned, because they could renew at any minute, they could purchase it at any minute, so we don't want to take that risk at all. And this means using these terms can still lead to potential legal challenges or account penalties. Now, in some cases, I've had issues where if there was an innocent use of a keyword, for example, Amazon will notify you, Amazon will send you an email, but that's not all the time for all publishers. I've had that case a couple of times where Amazon will send you an email where it's like, you've used that keyword, it's trademarked, you need to remove the whole book, or you need to reapply, for example, just delete the book and put it again under a different keyword. And that applied for a keyword where it was a 369 manifestation. The word 369 was a trademark, so I had to change that around. So how can you check for trademarked words? And this is something that I've talked about in previous video. I showed step-by-step process and a tutorial to guide you on how to check for trademark words, but here I'm going to simply briefly talk about it. Now, that video will be linked in the description box below. So it's 3 simple steps. Go to USPTO website. Step 2, click on the trademarks and then search trademarks. Step 3, use the word mark search feature in order to check if the chosen phrase is trademark. So the tip here is to avoid using any phrase that shows up as registered or trademark. I take a step further and I would avoid also using any word that is inactive, that has previously been registered. And this includes keywords that are mentioned in the titles, subtitles, and 7 keyword slots. Tip number 3 is create unique titles and create unique subtitles. So using identical or overly similar titles and subtitles to existing books on Amazon KDP, that's quite problematic, and that can lead to trouble. Eventually, Amazon's system flags books that closely resemble previously published works, and this could lead to your account being terminated. So you got to be careful. Even though you say that this is a keyword that I came up with myself, this is a title that I've been wanting to write for so long, if there is a previous book under that title or under the exact same phrasing, please avoid it. Just make sure to stay safe. So when you are choosing your book's title, when you're choosing your book's subtitle, ensure that they are original and not already in use by another author. This practice helps to prevent any confusion with existing works, and it also avoids you violating Amazon's guidelines on the basis of duplicate content. Additionally, please be careful when selecting an author name. So if your author name is too similar to a really popular, well-known author in the same niche or category, this can really raise red flags. And it's best to avoid that as well. The tip here is to always double check existing titles and author names in your genre before finalizing your own author name, and you can do that with a simple Amazon search under filtering author's name. Tip number 4 is avoid using pre-owned devices for publishing, because Amazon KDP tracks devices ID when you log into your account. Using a device previously associated with another KDP account, this can unfortunately lead to account termination. For example, this applies to secondhand computers, smartphones. There is a small chance that the person might have used it to log into a previously suspended KDP account. So this could really cause you problems and result in your account being flagged or terminated for violating Amazon's policy on maintaining multiple accounts. Now, this is a risk factor, but it's not stated by Amazon KDP. So if anyone has had that problem happen to before, I highly advise you to just follow up with Amazon KDP, but still to avoid this issue from happening in the first place, always use brand new devices for publishing if you have the choice, especially when you're creating or managing your KDP account. And tip number 5 is use separate devices and IP addresses for multiple accounts. So if you, for example, live with a friend, a family member, a sister, a brother who also publishes on KDP in the same household, it's important to avoid using the same device or even the same internet connection IP address in order to manage both of these accounts. So Amazon's system could interpret this as one person managing multiple accounts. This could also lead to potential suspension. So these are just technical issues that might lead to suspension. So how do you avoid this? The solution here is that each person should use their own device, their own internet connection when logging into their KDP accounts, and this means avoiding shared public Wi-Fi, logging in from the same household router. Instead, you can use mobile data if this is an issue for you, and ensure that each user is operating from a unique IP address. And the best practice and the best solution here is ensure that each KDP account has its own dedicated device and internet connection to prevent any sort of overlap that could confuse Amazon systems. And tip number 6 is keep a clean and consistent publishing process. Really, really important. Consistency and being very clear on your publishing process is a must. Maintaining this process is key to keeping your Amazon KDP account safe. So what do we mean by consistent and clean publishing process? Well, it basically means 3 things. Number 1, avoid suspicious activity. So when it's switching devices frequently or using multiple accounts or using unauthorized text or images, anything that appears suspicious to Amazon really can trigger a review and can trigger a suspension. Number 2, pay attention to Amazon's emails. Amazon will get in contact with you, whether it's because you've used a trademark term, it wants to warn you because it suspects that you did that innocently, or it's sending you a notification regarding your account. Take immediate action to resolve the issue before it escalates. So one thing to do is just, for example, if you're using Gmail, just simply flag the Amazon email. Just put a star mark next to it so that each time Amazon sends you an email from that email address, you will show on the top and it will notify you extra that you've received an Amazon email. And tip number 3 is follow the rules. Always stay updated with Amazon's terms and guidelines. It's consistently changing, and we do our best here on the channel to continue to update you on any changes that are happening with Amazon KDP. Always stay compliant. This is the best way that you ensure that your account remains in good standing. I wish you all the best. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.